Alright, so the issue continues. The issue continues. So let's look at the snap counts of week 12. Snap counts of week 12. Luckily, all these guys, Kwame, Cedric Jackson, and Stanley Morgan, were not activated for this game. And with us not activating 3 more receivers, right, you would think potentially then that would mean more playtime for the receivers we have. No T. Higgins. So that would mean that Chuck Sizzle would get 4 snaps. I'm sorry, but this is almost comical at this point. Like, I'm not trying to laugh, but just remember this is the replacement for Tyler Boyd. So, let's talk about it. So, before Chuck Sizzle went down with injury, back in, obviously, week 3 versus the Rams, he had the most snaps he has had on the whole entire year, which before that was 0 on offense. Keep that in mind. Special teams, we're not talking about special teams. We're just talking about offense. He had 3 snaps versus the Rams before he went down with injury. Then he was on IR for, 7 weeks because of his thumb injury. He broke his thumb. Comes back in week 11, fully healthy now, gets 1 snap. Then last week, gets 4 snaps. Now, again, you could say, well, last week there was only, a total of 40 snaps on offense. So it wasn't really limited. It was very limited. That's what Zach Taylor came on and said. That, listen, at the end of the day, we didn't have many snaps on offense. That's his reasoning why Chase Brown was at 0 snaps last week. Because he's like, hey, listen, if we put in, my bad, Joe Mixon only got 8 carries in that game. If we try to give more carries to somebody else, let's say Chase Brown, then that's less carries for Joe Mixon. Instead of looking at the fact that, wait, what about the fact that Chase Brown could be a blocking running back or could go out there and catch the football? Well, that's, let's not talk about that fact. So, Chuck Sizzle, 4 snaps, which is a career high. I'll say it like now. That's a career high. I don't know how they're evaluating his game to see if he can be Tyler Boyd's replacement or not. But in week 12 now, he is on pace. Right now, at this moment in time, he is on pace now for 30 snaps on the year. 30 snaps. Comparing that to our 6th round draft pick, Yoshi, at 106 snaps. Right now. Yeah. More of the story is, we don't have Tyler Boyd's replacement, and the Bengals do not want to see Chuck Sizzle be that replacement. For whatever reason, whether or not they think he has injury concerns, they just want him to strictly be the punt returner. They don't have much faith in him in general. I mean, there's really no reason why he should not be getting more snaps. There's 0 reason. Right now, you're in the worst part of your year, right? Because you're 5-6. You're in one of the worst years you've had in a bit of time, I will say. Because, obviously since 2020 pretty much. There's no reason why right now in your evaluation time period, the next 6 games, where, you potentially will miss the playoffs, that you shouldn't be evaluating every single part of this team possible. Seeing who should stay, who should go, who's a replacement, who's not a replacement. And I've said this many times, I'm not going to reiterate the same points every single video, but for some reason they don't like Chuck Sizzle. They just don't like him. They just don't think he's good enough on offense. They don't think he is a capable enough piece, even with T. Higgins out. Chuck Sizzle he just simply is not going to get any snaps on offense. Which again, like I said, moving forward, that just goes to show that guy, he's a punt returner, and that's all he'll ever be. We'll probably end up drafting a receiver this year, not only to replace T. Higgins, because I do believe we're going to franchise tag T. Higgins, bring him back for another year. He'll get $25 million. He'll be happy. And then we'll probably draft somebody else to replace, again, Tyler Boyd. Because Tyler Boyd most likely will be leaving after this year. So, we're going to get a replacement for Tyler Boyd. Chase Brown, again, like I said before, 0 snaps in this last game. He had Travion Williams had 8 snaps, 28 for Joe Mixon. 0 for Chase Brown. it's just how it works, man. It's just how it works at this point. We're kind of getting a general gist of, who's the most important on this team. Last week's snap count for Tanner Hudson, he led with he was the second least with Tanner Hudson. I'm sorry, with 13. Cannot speak for some reason. The only other guy who had less snaps than him was Mitchell Wilcox. Drew Sample actually led the team with 19, and Irv Smith at 16. Going down this list here, we did have Myles Murphy at 22 snaps, and also had his first sack of his career last week. So shout out to him for that. He actually had more snaps than Cam Sample, which is kind of cool, because at the same time, we want to see Myles Murphy with the ball more. So, I mean, more snaps, more times on the field. This is kind of what we've been iterating with all the rookies, but I see that. Speaking about a rookie who got a lot of play time, and no, it wasn't the fact that Poison Ivey, had a career high snap count last week at 12 snaps. Without Cam Taylor-Britt, they actually started utilizing our 7th round pick, Poison Ivey. And to look at the fact that before this game, he had 2 snaps on the season. Now, again, he's had snaps on special teams. I can't stress that enough. He still has snaps on special teams. He just hasn't had snaps throughout the season on defense. He has 14 snaps on the season now. So shout out to that. But our real big W is now our starting strong safety, Jordan Battle. 83% of the snaps. 59 snaps. We talked about this last week, how moving forward, Jordan Battle will be the starter on this roster. He is going to be our starting strong safety. Nick Scott will still be utilized. He'll be a backup, and he'll be a special teamer. And, this kind of spells more and more reason why this offseason, when we do lose Nick Scott, we're probably going to go ahead and try to pick somebody else up. Or draft somebody. Because, again, when I say we're going to lose Nick Scott, I don't think we're going to bring back Nick Scott. I think Nick Scott needs to go bye-bye. Although, I think we did sign him to, a 3-year contract, but that's beside the point. Wait, what's his contract, actually? 'Cause I believe it was, a 3-year contract. I want to say at least. Maybe I'm incorrect. Nick Scott contract. Let me see. Nick Scott signed, 3-year contract. So, like I said before, I don't think we bring him back. No, we will. We will bring him back just because it's a 3-year contract, but I would love to say the fact we just cut him. Cut him or trade him. But nobody's going to want him. So, Jordan Battle is now officially a starter. He's actually going to be getting a starting reps moving forward. So, now kind of recapping this, right? DJ Turner, by the way, also played 100% of the snaps last week with Cam Taylor-Britt out. So, that's another, really positive thing. He didn't really do amazing last week. Did have the fumble recovery, so that's nice. But our first round draft pick, Myles Murphy's at 163 snaps on the year. Our second round draft pick was DJ Turner at 511. Our third round draft pick was Jordan Battle, 213. Okay. Fourth round draft pick was Chuck Sizzle, 8. Fifth round draft pick was Brad Robbins, but also our fifth round draft pick was Chase Brown, 8. Our 6th round draft pick was Yoshi, 106. Our 7th round draft pick was Poison Ivey, 14. It was an interesting draft class. Thank you guys for watching.